It's time for my Smarter Nutrition Curcumin review because it looks like one of the best turmeric supplements out there. But is it really that good in reality? Or is it just another overrated product? It costs nothing less than $40 per bottle, which is a really high price for a turmeric supplement. So, could it be a scam? Well, here's my honest review and analysis on it. Hi guys, this is Oli from Health Recommendations, and on my channel I'm doing reviews on different supplements as well as health related guides. So if you want to stay updated with my videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. In case you want to see this full review in a written form, go to my website mysupplementadvice.com or follow the first link from the description. Getting back to Smarter Curcumin, I'm going to start my review with a really quick summary on this supplement, and then I'm going to start analyzing each of its chapters. To tell you honestly, Smarter Curcumin is one of the best turmeric supplements that I came across. It has an original formula with really high quality ingredients. It has a superior absorption when it comes to curcumin, and lastly, its producer is a really reputable and trustworthy brand. And there's more. It also has many positive reviews from its previous users, which is an essential thing if you ask me. But as you can somehow expect, it all comes with a price. And just like its high quality, Smarter Curcumin is one of the priciest turmeric supplements on the market. This is actually the main reason why it's not my top recommendation. There are many cheaper alternatives, and most cases don't require such a strong turmeric supplement as a regular one would do. So, in case you feel Smarter Curcumin is too hard to afford for you on the long term, I recommend a cheaper alternative that does pretty much the same thing if you ask me, and I'm going to tell you more about it later on. But all in all, Smarter Curcumin is a high quality, expensive product. So now that you have a brief idea about this supplement, I'm going to get to my full analysis on it, and I'm going to start by telling you how exactly it works. According to its website, Smarter Curcumin has the most active curcumin available. What exactly does this mean? Well, according to it, it is 250 times more potent than regular curcumin, and it has a 92% better absorption. So let me try to explain. Curcumin is actually the extract of turmeric, and just like turmeric, it has a really poor absorption. Actually, the human body eliminates about 50% from it instantly, and this is the reason why many turmeric supplements contain absorption boosters. In case you heard of BioPerine, this is probably the most popular absorption enhancer. According to some studies, it increases turmeric and curcumin's absorption by up to 2000%. Now, these are general facts, so let me tell you more about a Smarter Nutrition Curcumin's technology because it uses a different one. Instead of BioPerine or any other absorption boosters, it contains oily substances, and curcumin seems to get absorbed a lot better as an oily formulation. Plus, the curcumin form it contains is also a superior one. It's called C3 Redact, and you can pretty much find it only in this supplement, so it's a trademark ingredient. So that's pretty much the reason why Smarter Curcumin claims to have the best curcumin on the market, and I cannot really argue this because I'm pretty sure that it is true. Now let me tell you a couple of things about its producer. The brand behind Smarter Curcumin is called Smarter Nutrition. It's a really reputable company with lots of high quality products behind. Actually, each of its products is called Smarter. There's Smarter Curcumin, Smarter Enzyme, Smarter Sleep, and so on. And as you can pretty much tell, each has a superior formulation compared to most similar products. So in terms of reputation, Smarter Curcumin's producer is highly praised overall. Honestly, Smarter Curcumin might have one of the best formulas among turmeric supplements, and I'm saying this in terms of value. As I already told you, its formula uses a different technology and it has an increased absorption, so there's no need for an absorption booster. Plus, 2 out of its 4 ingredients are trademarks, which means they are an improved version of the original ingredients. And lastly, apparently it also has a stronger form of curcumin. Now, there are 4 active ingredients in this product: curcumin C3 reduct, black seed cumin oil, ginger extract, and astragen. So it's time to get a closer look at each of them. First, curcumin C3 reduct. This is probably the responsible behind Smarter Curcumin's effect, and that's because it is a special form of curcumin. It's more concentrated and it contains tetrahydrocurcuminoids. On the other hand, most turmeric supplements contain regular curcuminoids, so it's tetrahydro versus regular curcuminoids. And as you can pretty much guess, the tetrahydro version is better. That's because, according to some studies, it is more active and it has a better absorption and effect overall. Up next, there's black seed cumin oil. This ingredient is meant to create an oily base for the curcumin, thus increasing its absorption. So it's pretty much replacing the absorption boosters that are so common in other turmeric supplements. The oil itself also has some anti-inflammatory properties. As for the ginger extract, it also seems to help with inflammation, but its effect is much weaker compared to turmeric and curcumin in general. And lastly, there's astragen. This is a blend made of 2 herbs whose name I can't really pronounce, but its goal is to increase absorption, just like in the case of a black seed cumin oil. Overall, Smarter Curcumin's formula is awesome. As I already told you, it's one of the best formulas I came across in a turmeric supplement, so from this point of view, it's totally worth the money. The only observation I have is that for most people, regular turmeric works just as well and it is usually cheaper. But in terms of formula, Smarter Curcumin has all my praises. So how do these pills look like? Well, Smarter Curcumin is again smarter than most turmeric supplements, even at this chapter. Instead of the classic gelatin pills, it contains soft gels. They have about the same dimensions and size, but they have a softer consistency, so overall they are easier to swallow than a regular turmeric supplement. So if you're sick of the usual turmeric capsules, you're pretty much going to love the soft gels. As for the dosage, this supplement requires taking 2 pills per day, which is pretty decent compared to other supplements that recommend 3, 4, or even more pills. Now, I personally recommend spacing them out, but you can also take both together if that's more comfortable for you. Smarter Curcumin is a really quality product. Even its reviews say so. But in order to give you a really good idea on what this product can do, I try to analyze its Amazon reviews because those are known to be made by previous customers. Now, Smarter Curcumin has a huge number of 5-star reviews on Amazon. Actually, its average rating is 4.7 stars out of over 3,000 reviews. So this is definitely an incredible number in the best way possible, and if you ask me, it is the best proof that this supplement is really effective. Now, here's what most users praise it for. According to some, it is the best curcumin supplement they have ever tried. Others say it's really helpful against any kind of pain, and there are also a few mentioning that it really helps with stiffness. Overall, most reviews are made by users suffering from arthritis or chronic joint pain, so when it comes to this, Smarter Curcumin seems to be really effective and helpful. But as any other supplement, it is far from perfect and it also has enough complaints. Most of them are related to its high price, the fact that it does not accept refunds. It also seems to cause some side effects, especially stomach pain, and I could also find some negative reviews from users who claim they didn't saw any effect or improvement even after taking several bottles of this product. Now, it's obvious that a product cannot work for every single person that tries it, and that's also the case of Smarter Curcumin, so before you actually buy it, consider this possibility. But overall, Smarter Curcumin has about 80% positive reviews, so if you ask me, this tells a lot about its high quality and effect. Now, it's true that it also has many users complaining about this price, and I have to agree that it's pretty expensive on the long term, and this is probably the main reason why I would not recommend it. But in terms of results, it is definitely a product that is worth the money. Among Smarter Curcumin's negative reviews, about 40% are related to side effects. According to these users, the most common side effects that appear are stomach cramps, rashing and itching, heartburn, and increased blood pressure. Now, out of this side effect, stomach pain is by far the most common, and you should actually know that it is a common side effect in every turmeric supplement. That's because turmeric itself causes stomach pain really often. Now, there's a really easy thing you can do to prevent this. All you have to do is to take the pills with or after eating so that your stomach isn't empty. Taking the pills on a full stomach will reduce or even cancel this effect, so this thing works really good for prevention. As a joint supplement, Smarter Curcumin is pretty expensive, but as a turmeric supplement, it is extremely expensive. So this is probably the biggest drawback I could find on this product. In terms of price, Smarter Curcumin costs about the same in all retailers. Its regular price is $39.95 for a monthly supply. You can buy it from Amazon and get free shipping for most orders, or you can buy it from Smarter Nutrition's official website, and in this case, shipping is free for orders over $125. Honestly, $40 per month is a bit too much and too hard to afford on the long term, especially when there are so many turmeric supplements that cost under $30 per bottle. Now, don't get me wrong, Smarter Curcumin is definitely worth $40 per bottle, even more. But the thing is that most people can get about the same effect from regular turmeric supplements. That's why I wouldn't really recommend Smarter Curcumin. If you afford paying so much on it every month, it's totally fine. I think it is a great choice. But if you don't, there are some other cheaper alternatives that do pretty much the same thing. And since I got here, I want to compare Smarter Curcumin with my top recommended turmeric supplement. I'm talking about Turmeric Curcumin Plus from Vita Balance. In terms of price, Smarter Curcumin's regular cost is $40 per bottle, while Turmeric Curcumin Plus costs $24 normally. Now, both products offer a discount for larger quantities, and in this way, Smarter Curcumin comes as cheap as $25 per bottle, while Turmeric Curcumin Plus is available for even $16, which is the lowest price I know in a turmeric supplement. So in terms of price, Turmeric Curcumin Plus is surely a better choice. This is actually why it is my top recommended turmeric supplement at this point. Now, in terms of value, Smarter Curcumin is definitely above. But thing is, unless you have a big inflammatory problem, you don't really need such a powerful product. Actually, any regular turmeric supplement would do, as long as it has a higher absorption. And Turmeric Curcumin Plus meets this criteria, and this is why I think that it is a better alternative to Smarter Curcumin for most people. As a conclusion, I think that Smarter Curcumin is a bit too pricey on the long term. I'm not saying it's an overpriced product because it's definitely worth $40 per bottle, but I personally couldn't afford it on a monthly basis. Besides, most people don't even need such a powerful product. They get the same effect from regular turmeric supplements. So that's the main reason why I don't recommend Smarter Curcumin, not as a top choice at least. Here's how I would sum up my opinion on Smarter Curcumin in 3 ideas. First of all, it has an amazing formula. As I already told you, it's among my top recommended turmeric supplements from this point of view. It has an increased absorption, trademark ingredients, and an original composition, so it is definitely worth the money. Secondly, it really works. This product actually rocks in terms of customer satisfaction. It has over 80% positive reviews and an average rating of 4.7 stars on Amazon. It is true that it also has some complaints, but compared to the high number of positive reviews and praises, these are pretty rare. And lastly, it's quite hard to afford on the long term because it's pretty expensive at $40 per bottle. Now, it is definitely worth this money, so it's not an overpriced product, but most people could get about the same effect with a $25 supplement, so I think that it is a bit expensive from this point of view. So, is Smarter Nutrition Curcumin worth it or not? Well, if you afford it, it is definitely worth the money. It has some excellent formula and ingredients, a superior absorption, and many satisfied users behind. But the main reason why I would not recommend it is its high price. It costs about $40 per bottle, which is a monthly supply, so this isn't very easy to afford on the long term. Besides, most people's problems could be easily solved with a regular turmeric supplement that is much cheaper. So if you don't have a major inflammatory problem, or if you cannot afford Smarter Curcumin, I recommend an alternative called Turmeric Curcumin Plus from Vita Balance. At this point, it is the best turmeric supplement I know in terms of quality per price. It has a classic but really powerful formula, and it costs as little as $16 per bottle. As for Smarter Curcumin, don't get me wrong, it's an excellent supplement, and if you afford paying $15 more, I definitely recommend it. But normally, I personally would go for the cheaper alternative. If my body reacts well to regular doses, why should I start with higher ones? Now, this was my review on Smarter Nutrition Curcumin. I really hope it helped you get an idea on this product and on how exactly it works. In case you have any questions, or if you have any personal experience with this supplement that you want to share, please let me know in the comments below. So that was pretty much all for today. See you next time.